Yeah, my name is Greg Lamarche. I write SP. I'm originally from Queens, New York, and we're here at my studio in Manhattan. You know, I make shit. So it's like, I just like, collage is kind of like the main basis. It's like the starting point for a lot of stuff that I do. I just kind of pull stuff, and like I said, some of the stuff has already been cut, and then I'll just kind of like add pieces. Like, I'll have somewhat of a base. You never know. Sometimes, especially with abstract stuff, you add one thing, you take one thing away. It's like that will make the whole piece. That will be the weight that kind of brings the whole piece together. But yeah, it's really just kind of like adding, subtracting, and just kind of like, but not really thinking too hard about stuff. The idea of chance is a huge part of it. Like, there's obviously some themes that emerge. It's really to kind of have fun and also have that kind of like spontaneity kind of really come through. And the nice thing about collage is that you get to kind of sit on them. They're kind of like, I kind of equate them sometimes to like a fine wine. Like, I'd sit on them for a while, and then see if I still like them, and then I'll make them. Because that's the other thing. Sometimes you want to go totally nuts on a piece, and then sometimes you want to be kind of like, you want to know when to stop ahead of going too crazy. So that's kind of a balance of this and here. But yeah, a lot of this stuff are works in progress. But this was originally a paper collage piece, and so yeah, so that's kind of what I've been really working and focusing on, is making additions of pieces and stuff like that that can be kind of larger format. I don't have to collect any collage materials anymore. Like, I have so much materials. I've now cut these pieces of paper into probably like, several hundred thousands of pieces of paper. So I have supplies for quite a while. 1977, I believe, is basically just illustrations and photos of guns, pistols, and somewhere bullets. So I made a collage completely out of the bullets out of this book, but I made them into flowers. So they look like flowers instead. Draw nudes at home. Haven't cut these up, but they're the VIP coloring book. Is also from the 1960s. Sure is very politically incorrect in many fashions. It's like, as I said, some of the stuff is really more for like, just like the font or like the color or something like that. Like, there's not really a lot that I'm going to cut out of here, but it's more just like, I needed that color, I needed that reference. Like, even these things, like these, I don't know, just the colors and just everything about them is just like inspiring. Not sure why I still have this, but I collected. I save everything. So this, I've been really kind of like mining through like a lot of the old Village Voices and stuff like that, with just like the way it's laid out, and just some of these, like especially like the old rock shows. Sometimes you'll see something in here that are kind of spark an idea. There's like all these like weird little characters, and it's like also too, like, just as a side note, not that I look through this shit, but there are some really weird personal ads in the back here that are very dated to what you would see today, I guess. But I guess everything's just crazy today, so it doesn't matter. But you might know this famous photographer, Nicholas Pileggi. He did like this photo essay about Rikers Island. There's cool photos in here, but the thing that really drew me to it was just the back. As you can tell, I love to play with negative space. Mm-hmm. And so when I saw just this design, even though it's part of a bigger design, I just kind of saw this and was like, oh, well, there's an idea there. Totally. So, well, actually, this is where the story starts, actually. In 2007, I did this board for Zoo York. The guy who runs Fireborough was working there then, so we met back. And this is 2007, so this is a while ago. These, I haven't really looked at these in a while, but I was using, back when I was taking photos, I did a whole photo essay, which at some point I'd like to do a book on, of fireworks shacks on an Indian reservation. So this was Flamin' Falcon. What does it say? Bomb Squad? I can't read it. Bad As. This is someone, yeah, this is one, Ill Eagle. Holes through fences, which you don't see as much anymore. Every place where people went to go hang out, that's kind of what the fence looked like. That's like how you got in, got out. But yeah, oh, here's a picture of me with Revs in a tunnel, 1996. I guess he must have taken this picture. I mean, I painted with him a lot, but this is the only time I ever did a tunnel mission with him. This is my friend's stairwell. I don't think the stairwells look like that anymore, but this one people used to hang out and smoke blunts in the stairwell, like they say. Again, dope colors, dope ideas. But yeah, with collage, you get to play around. Like, I'll make a composition like we're doing right now, and, I'll sit on it, see if I like it. I'll make it, I'll finish it. This one's almost done. And then, again, also not try to think about it too much, not be too crazy with it. Just know what you want a little bit, and just, kind of let it happen. And usually make it to the other side. But yeah, that's no good. Beautiful. This is kind of interesting. This is a canvas that I made in 1985. That was heavily influenced by Futura 2000. You know, I think the one thing that he really kind of opened everyone's eyes to is like, you know, trying to do something different. Totally. Also, I have a bunch of these, a series of like notebooks that kind of like, and then I think it's just all just tags, or mostly just tags. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, you know, it's like everything in here is kind of an art piece. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is just like a sketchbook that I kind of doodle in a lot, but I also get people to sign it when I go out to events. But yeah, it's Stash 2, lead. But yeah, for the most part, Duke 9. Piece from my friend Mucho from Oslo, Norway. Not a bug in. Some of my Phillies people. But yeah, this book's almost done. This is almost completely full. But yeah, sometimes when you do something so many times, you don't really need a pencil anymore. So yeah, always the same, always different. Always a little different. I've been thinking about my tag more as an acronym these days for something positive. I think that's kind of what I stuck on now.